following the announcement, the Catholic Diocese of Fresno plans to file for bankruptcy in order to address over 150 claims of sexual assault. The mother of the accuser is now speaking out.
Our Ben Morris spoke to her today and joins us in studio now with more on what she had to say. Ben.
Stephanie, Eric, today Karen Lowart told me her son Jason was a wonderful person, loving and caring up until the day his life was cut short. But she says he had to carry unthinkable pain, all stemming from what was supposed to be a happy day for his grandparents, an anniversary celebration.
It was their 50th wedding anniversary, and we usually would start them off with a mass. And it was at their house. Don Flickinger was there. He was there presiding over the mass. Unbeknownst to us, our son Jason was about 4.5, almost 5, and was lured into my folks' powder room and was molested.
Karen Lowart says roughly 24 years ago, priest Don Flickinger, under the umbrella of the Fresno Diocese, molested her son Jason. She says Flickinger was always around, from frequently visiting the family's vacation home on the coast to attending major milestones and celebrations. But she says they never expected him to be, quote, a devil in sheep's clothing.
It was not out of the ordinary whatsoever to have a priest at the house, but he was one that was, he groomed my mom and dad to make them believe that he really cared about them. And he really was just out to, molest children.
Lowart and her family did not find out about the alleged incident until over a decade later. That's when she says they started to see a change in Jason early into his 20s. Depression, anger, and anxiety overtaking him. They took him to a therapist.
It all came out that day. And he came home and he said, "Mom, I was raped. I was molested."
She says from that point on, even with additional help, it only got worse. Jason turned to alcohol and drugs, heading in and out of rehab, she says, to try anything he could to numb the pain.
The nightmares just got to be too much, and he would call us in the middle of the night sobbing that he couldn't do it anymore.
The spiral only continued. Her husband checked Jason into rehab for what would be his last time. Lowart says he left after only 24 hours and headed back to his apartment. On November 5th of this past year, they lost contact with him before calling police for a wellness check.
They had to break the door down. And they found him deceased. He had a fentanyl overdose. They called it an accidental fentanyl overdose.
Jason Lowart was just 27 years old. Now, to make sure her son didn't die in vain, Lowart has joined SNAP, the survivors network of those abused by priests. She says it's all about sharing stories like her son's and holding those like Flickinger and the Catholic Church responsible. Lowart says Flickinger, now 89 years old, has over 100 accusations of molestation. I tried to reach out for comment, but was unable to get a hold of him. I also asked the Fresno Diocese for comment on Flickinger and whether he was still with the church. They couldn't comment on the allegations or his history, but could say he currently doesn't hold faculties at the diocese. Reporting live here in studio, Ben Morris, KC24, local news that matters.